Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel to another video talking about Married at First Sight. We getting close to the end. We got one more finale episode coming up this Wednesday. This Wednesday. Oh my god, it's been long enough. You talking about five almost, yeah, five almost 6 months because the season started in January. But in this particular video, and if you've been following my other videos that I posted over the past several days, um, in this video, we're talking about Michael and Jazz this time. Yeah, we have a little bit to talk about. Like I said in the previous videos, I kind of put my ears to the social media streets to just kind of get a gauge of what folks are talking about and being able to kind of address and talk about that and give my opinion. So before we jump into this video, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you guys can be notified every time I post. If you like the video, smash the like button and feel free to drop comments down in the comment section below. I like reading you guys' comments and engaging with you guys, so feel free to do that as well. All right. So we're not going to waste any more time here with this intro. Let's go ahead and talk about this couple. So, as we know, Michael and Jazz struggled to connect after the wedding. Now, while it seemed like they eventually managed to develop some solid friendship, the romance just wasn't there. I mean, the couple thought that there was a potential for some form of love to kind of shape and blossom, and they agreed to agreed to stay married on decision day. But I think it was like 12 days afterward. They said at the reunion that they gave up. It was just too much. It was over. They mentioned that they are not together, adding that his relationship with Jazz ended roughly, like I said, about 2 weeks after decision day. The two said that they had this nasty argument over whether they were putting equal effort in the relationship. Yeah. And Jazz said that they decided that's why they needed to split. That's what led to everything ending. Jazz also confirmed that, what many viewers suspected, that she was never into Michael romantically. I only saw him as a friend. So she put him in the friend zone. And okay, so I know if you guys remember my first initial recap when I went over the season 14 couples, they were one of the couples that I had high hopes for. And even with their body language, because the picture that we're looking at right now in this video is the one that was promoted, you would have thought, as comfortable as they are laying and sitting and, just being in that position with each other, you would think that oh yeah, they definitely made it. They look good together. I actually did. And even watching the wedding, he was excited about seeing her. She really had, good energy at the wedding as well. So I thought, oh, yeah, this is a good one, right? But I'm wondering what was the switch in Jazz that just completely cut that off. Now, I know a lot of you guys said that maybe her issue was his height, because if you see them standing side by side, she is about an inch or two taller than him. But she kind of debunked that, unless she wasn't being transparent. But she debunked that on um, the after party when Keisha Knight Pulliam asked her that question. She said his height is not an issue. So I just truly think she wasn't interested in him. And a lot of folks was like, well, if Michael made a move and maybe he kind of, because I've seen some of the other content creators, and they were saying, well, maybe if he kind of lightly touched her, came close to her, blah blah blah, maybe it would have gave her the incentive. And then she even said that, I was waiting for Michael to make the first move. Somewhere Michael picked up that energy that him making the first move was not going to work. And by her admitting the fact at, the reunion that, she was never romantically into him, could you imagine the rejection that he would have been met with if he tried to make that first move? And Michael obviously knew that. He knew that if I tried to go and maybe, kind of show her some signs of wanting, a little bit of, excuse me, intimacy with her, he would have got rejection from that. So he knew that it was not the good move. And as she admitted, she was just not into him. She didn't feel no romantic feelings toward him at all. She had pretty much uh, put him completely in the friend zone. And it's just so unfortunate. And to find out that they actually, for the first month, did not even have conversation. They barely spoke to each other the first 30 days. So I guess they came together for filming because contractually they had to. But other than that, when the cameras went away, what did they do? Did they go in their separate rooms? Did they somebody leave the house and come back later? Pretty much moving like two ships in the night. I mean, dang, I hated that. But you can't force somebody to be attracted to someone. Now, I will say that there's an interesting double standard. Now, I know that we've seen previous seasons where people wasn't initially or attracted to someone, and some people get more flack than the others, especially how they reacted to the attraction. But what it comes down to is that everybody is not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, you don't have to be attracted to somebody or into somebody. If you're just not feeling that person, you're just not feeling that person. Now, how you respond to them is a different story. Being rude and mean and cold and things like that. I mean, you could easily say, you know what, hey, I don't think this is going to work. I mean, you cool and all, but I'm just maybe looking with for somebody that has more compatibility or something like that. But in this particular case, being non-communication, and here's the interesting thing: at the retreat, when they did the whole sit down with the medium, and then he kind of talked about his family, and it really made her feel some kind of way, more of a softer side of Jazz toward him. I actually thought maybe that could have been a turning point, and I'm wondering if that's why they chose to stay together on decision day. Now, there were some folks saying that Jazz stayed together on decision day to save face, so she wouldn't look like the bad guy. And then, of course, once the cameras went away, that she made a decision afterward. We will never know the answer to that. More than likely, she'll probably get the answer to that question after the season. But, my thing is, I don't think, even if she said no on decision day or no after, I don't think it would have impacted her either way. Now, if this was somebody else, then maybe so. But I don't think it would have impacted her either way. Another thing folks were saying was that, was the show hoping for 100% success, or at least in this case, what would that be? 80%, because we lost Chris and Alyssa 2 weeks into the season. And so they wanted everybody to kind of stay together and see if it could work, and at least it would be out of their hands because the show and filming is over and they get the statistics for it. What you do outside of the show after the cameras go away is on you. So a lot of folks were saying that maybe, the production team or somebody wanted everybody to say yes and then figure out what to do afterward, which make their numbers look good. Because for the last two seasons, since season 11, they had one couple in season 12 and 0 out of 5 in season 13. So I don't know. For a minute, I kind of thought that. I'm like, because I couldn't see I did not expect these two, even though I had high hopes for them in the beginning, I did not expect these two at the end to say yes. Okay. So, and even with Lindsay and Mark, I mean, that was up in the air too. But for all four of them to say, all four couples to say yes on decision day, yeah, it definitely helped the numbers for the show. But after the season, they ended up with two out of well, 2 out of 5. So, and we'll see what happened with the other two, which I have pretty much high hopes for the remaining two couples that stayed together. So, to answer that question, I don't think Jazz was actually into him. She friend zoned him early. And in regards to Michael making the first move, I don't think it would have been a good idea because the rejection would have came from that because she was not into him romantically like that. And I think he knew that. He lived with Jasmina for 8 weeks. So he knew the energy that would have came from her if he tried to make that move. So in my opinion, I don't think he should have. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.